Welcome to PraDa Law Live. I'm your host for today's show, Jackie Mendez. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. And before I introduce our attorneys, I definitely want to remind you that that number on the screen right there is 888-88-LEGAL, and that's the number that you want to call for your free consultation, okay? The call is free, the consultation is free, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce the first, Jennifer Pratt, the lovely Jennifer Pratt.
The one and only. Thank you, Jackie. Good evening.
That's right. Alexis Garcia.
Thank you, Jackie. Hello, it's a pleasure to be here.
And of course, Yoel Damas.
Thank you, Jackie, and welcome to everyone. Happy Monday.
That's right. Happy Monday to everyone watching at home. Again, give us a call. The number's right there on your screen, 888-88-LEGAL. Let's go straight into the show, right?
That's right, Jackie. Thank you very much. And it's Monday. It's right after the weekend. I want to start the show off by welcoming back Jennifer Pratt. She was not with us last week, and you know, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. And we want to thank everyone that reached out to the show and to the program. And I'm really happy to have you back. You are a big part of this program, and thank you. Thank you for being here again, and thank you for providing all this for everyone listening to us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So let's jump right in. Let's go into bankruptcy, foreclosure, modifications, and you know, we're here to kill the banks, right? I can't say that, right?
No, yes you can.
Oh,
you can say.
I can say kill.
I would think so, or we're here to beat the banks. I don't know. I like kill better. I think kill sounded much better.
I agree. I think kill sounds great. Yeah, we're here to kill the banks.
Yes. Well, we're here to let you know your rights. We're here to let you know that you have opportunities with the bank. You have rights. You can get rid of credit card debts. If you have a mortgage and if you're behind on your mortgage, you can become current on your mortgage and you can use the bankruptcy program. You can use loan modifications. You are not at the mercy of the bank. You have rights, and if you call us here at PraDa Law, we can help guide you and explain those rights to you.
That's right. Jennifer, you're so far from me today. I don't know why.
I don't know who put me here, but
I snuck this seat today.
You did.
I came in first so I could have this one. I didn't want the corner.
That is so wrong.
They put the bad kids in the corner.
Well, I don't know about that. Anyway, so we're back to Monday. So I want to be clear. They're saying that unemployment is doing better, right? So they're saying that there's 1 million people employed this week, right? And assuming that's true, which I don't believe it, that's what? That means there's still 39 million people without a job?
Right, and you know, this past weekend, you know, I was with some friends and family, and they were telling me, some of the people that I was with were telling me how they had to get jobs because the unemployment here in Florida was just so sporadic. They were getting checks, but it was like once every other week or every 3 weeks, and it wasn't the amount they were promised, and it was just all over the place. So even for the people that have filed for unemployment, you know, I know there's been a lot of issues even with those people because they haven't received either the full amount or they're not getting their payments on time. There's all sorts of issues that people are right now in dire need of help for not only credit cards, but mortgage assistance. You know, they can't pay their cars. Things are happening around us that is really affecting the finances of everyday people. And just for you to just believe that the bank is going to somehow be your savior, you know, it's just absolutely wrong. The banks have attorneys. They have a office full, a building room of attorneys. You deserve competent legal counsel as well that can help you through this dire time to get through and hopefully either negotiate or settle the debt that you currently have.
That's right. If the banks have their representation, then you should have your own representation. And the way to have that is by giving us a call. The number's free. The call's free, okay? The consultation's free, 888-88-LEGAL. Right, Joel?
That's right. And you know what? Jennifer brings up a great point. Attorney Pratt brings up a great point. Banks have their attorneys. And they're going to have them there, and no matter who you are, they're going to go ahead and unleash them on you, right? And they're going to hold down to that last letter that you signed on, and they're going to say, we want our money. And that's happening more and more. And, you know, we've been saying it now, we're, what, third week of August, or at least the third show in August that we're dealing with bankruptcy. And people are coming in saying, I entered into a mod agreement, or not a mod agreement, it's actually a forbearance, and I did that 3 months ago, and now they want 4 months worth of payments. What?
That's absurd. And let me tell you, that was not properly explained to these individuals when they initially started applying when COVID occurred and there was that huge lockdown in March. That's not what was explained. What was explained to the individuals, don't worry, don't pay for 3 months. In July, you pick up payments. And then individuals were told verbally over the phone, and I've seen this in many cases, they were told, don't worry, in July, you just start paying. But the letters the banks were sending to confirm these forbearances even stated, come July, you owe it all. But when you call, the banks would say, don't worry, you don't. So they're playing games with these individuals and, oh, in July, call us again, and then maybe it'll be rolled to September. So you just really don't know. And the attorneys are guiding them, so you need an attorney to guide you.
And Attorney Garcia, going off that, you know, the attorneys that represent the banks.
Correct.
Do they owe a duty to our potential clients or our listeners?
Not only do their attorneys, not the banks don't. You know, you think it's my bank, my mortgage. That means nothing. They owe nothing to you, and they're not looking out for your interest. Your attorney looks out for your interest.
That's correct. And that's why you need an attorney that represents you. And that's why we make it easy. It's 888-88-LEGAL. We make it easy for you to call. We make it easy for you to come in for a consultation. It's as simple as calling now, coming in for a consultation later. There's absolutely no reason. You do not have an excuse why you don't have legal representation, or at the very least, have some minor details related to your issue to come in and just get that advice. Right, Attorney Pratt?
Attorney Thomas, and you know, it might be true that the banks did not disclose this to the individual homeowners or property owners, but you know what I do know? We've been telling them. We've been telling them for weeks, for months, since this pandemic hit. We told you how serious this COVID-19 thing is. We told you that this was going to happen, and now it's happening.
And it's simple. And production keeps telling me to remind you guys. Go on Facebook, /PraDa Law Live, hit that like button, and make sure you follow us, because we have been telling you for weeks. It's that simple. Get information. Yeah. You lose nothing by getting information. You lose nothing by dialing the number. There's absolutely nothing to lose. You're not going to pay 1 penny to understand what your rights are. And we're going to go ahead, and on this program, we're going to get into details. Details about bankruptcies, details about loan mods, details about foreclosures, and we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure out different solutions that are available to you today, to take advantage of today. And that's simple. 888-88-LEGAL. We'll be right back.
I know you're home right now asking yourself, how? How will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size, we know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote, ¿cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito? Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera del 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
Welcome back to PraDa Law Live. I'm Jackie Mendez, once again, your host. And reminder to all our viewers at home, there's that number on the screen, which is 888-88-LEGAL. That's the number we want you guys to call. We have all the answers. Any questions that you may have, any concerns, we have attorneys ready and at will, ready to help you. Right, Joel?
Thank you, Jackie. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So we've been discussing over the break, and we're laughing, but it's not a laughing matter. We're laughing because Attorney Pratt was saying that she did a Joelito, and that's what they call me in Spanish in my Cuban household, on this bank, right, or this financial company. Tell us a little bit about it, that, you know, what you did to these people.
Right. Well, you know, there was loan modification for one of our clients in the office, and, you know, they hadn't paid the mortgage for many, many years. And part of the reason is because, and we're finding that more and more people actually, this is their scenario. And what it is that they did a loan modification perhaps in the 2008, 2010 years. So we're talking, you know, 8-10 years ago. And what they failed to realize is that when they did that modification, they pretty much forgot about this second mortgage, or HELOC, right, Attorney Garcia?
It's an 80-20 purchase.
Right. And so what we're seeing is that these folks, they forgot, and then the bank forgot somehow too. I mean, I don't know how you forget a $40,000, $50,000.
Second mortgages, a lot of the time, especially during the crisis, kind of just slept on their rights because, you know, they were still 30 years, however it may be, and the first mortgage has all the rights, especially when the properties don't have value. So they kind of just linger. They wait for the right time to sneak in and take your house.
So I think that's the ticker, Attorney Garcia. Yeah. What happened was in the 2008, between 2008 and let's say call it 2011, 2012, these homes, as many of us know, they were very under the water, right? You may have owed 300 grand, but it was worth 120, 150. So these second mortgages weren't surfacing. But now that homes do have much higher values, and that even with the COVID, they haven't dropped much in value, we're seeing these second mortgages all of a sudden wake up, right? It's like the Jolly Green Giant. And now people are saying, wait a minute, I thought I modified that, you know, many moons ago, and it turns out that's not the case.
It's not, and this isn't the only client we have. We have several clients with this. I think there's like 3 or 4 clients with the same exact issue. So, I mean, you know, this client, we got him his modification. You know, we got him what he needed. The bank gave him a great plan where, 10 years he was not paying a loan, and we were able to get him the modification. It's his homestead. It's his primary residence, and he's going to be able to stay there. So, I mean, you just have to have your attorney to work out your needs for you.
It's really important because I know this meant a lot to this individual. He's going to be able to leave this home as an inheritance for his children. And I know for a lot of us, that's what we want to do. We want to leave things for our children. And so we're really proud that we're able to help this individual at this time, and that his lifelong dream of the American dream is actually happening.
That's right. Thank you so much, Attorney Pratt. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Jennifer. We want to help you, okay? And the way we can help you is by picking up the phone, giving us a call. That number is free. Once again, the consultation is free, no hassle. 888-88-LEGAL. Give us a call.
And not only that, Jackie, if they're watching us on this program now, they could call right now.
They can call right now.
Yeah, they don't have to wait tomorrow to 9 a.m.
Nope,
they could call right now. They could participate in this program. We're live. It's that simple.
That's right.
They could ask us questions. They could send us messages. There's a lot of ways to get in touch with us. Attorney Pratt and Attorney Garcia. So I don't want to be Debbie Downer. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But I've been in real estate for 20-something years. And I think this crisis is a lot worse than 2008. And I understand that houses are up. The truth is that those that are able to receive some of this government help are receiving a lot of it, right? And they're taking advantage of it. And not only that, there's a move away from urban areas into suburbia, right? Yep. And home prices are actually staying. But again, I keep getting these emails from the bank. I think things are going to get tough. And the truth is that the faster that people reach out for help, the banks, they don't know yet, right? But some of the banks are coming to us and saying, we have 45% default rates, 50% default rates. What? They need to act now and not necessarily take a position of, oh, everything's going to be great. And I'm sorry. I got to call it for what it is.
And that's a great observation, because if the default rate is this high, the reason you don't see a lot of foreclosures yet is things are still slow in courts. You know, courts are open. They're moving forward. So you need to be proactive and you need to respond to any legal cases you may have pending. But they're not moving that quickly. And there's not all the foreclosure sales just yet. Foreclosures are proceeding, but all the sales are not necessarily proceeding. So once that happens, like Attorney Dama says, the market, there's going to be a change in the market, I think.
I agree, Attorney Garcia. And there's moratoriums right now on evictions. There's moratoriums on foreclosures of federally owned loans. I mean, there's a lot of subsidies coming into the market that in essence are propping up that market. But the truth is that behind the scenes, banks are gearing up. And if banks are gearing up, you should be worried. That's what it comes down to.
You should gear up. Like
you should gear up
like the banks and call us.
You
That's
should
right.
gear up, and definitely, we're going to get right. Listen, we have about 20 seconds before going into a break, but don't touch your home equity. Don't touch certain things. There's ways to protect assets. We're going to get into those details like we always do in a robotic fashion, but we want to make sure you understand and you get it through your head. We're here for you, not anybody else. We're here to kill the banks. 888-88-LEGAL. We'll be right back.
I know you're home right now asking yourself, how? How will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size, we know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito. Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera del 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
And welcome back to PraDa Law Live. We've been talking of, several topics today, and Attorney Pratt, Attorney Garcia, and Attorney Damas have been answering a bunch of questions, very informative questions about bankruptcy, several topics. And I just want to remind everyone at home that that number on your screen is the number that you got to call for any questions. You can call in right now. This show is live, and we're taking your calls. So that number, once again, 888-88-LEGAL.
Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it. And over the break, we are technically, as we wait for the commercials, still talking things through. And Attorney Pratt was making a few points with Attorney Garcia about courts still being open. And I think you need to drive that point home because people think it's COVID.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, Attorney Damas. What's happening is that we have this wonderful program called Zoom, at least in Miami-Dade County, and courts are going forward. I mean, I've got court tomorrow. I've got court next week. We had court last week. Hearings are being heard, whether it's a civil matter, family matter, foreclosure matter. Things are moving forward. Certainly, this is the time to negotiate, though, in my opinion, because banks realize that while they may not be able to get a sale date, while they may not be able to get a writ, certain things, certain restrictions that are right now in place, even in Miami-Dade County, certainly we know that at the end of the day, these banks want nothing more than just their money. They're typically not in the business of keeping your home or taking your home, believe it or not. But it's very important, like we've all said on the panel today, to come to us early on. Help us try to negotiate with the bank so that you can stay in your home, so that you can keep that second home, and you're able to actually live another day without the fear of foreclosure.
I don't want to cut you off, but you're telling me that banks are in it for the money?
Well, here's the deal, and you're a real estate guy. You've been in real estate for many, many moons, even before I was born. I'm kidding. But let's be real, Attorney Dominic.
I quit the program.
You are and I think I can say this without getting in trouble, I think you are a real estate guru. I mean, you know a lot about real estate, and that's been your bread and butter for many, many moons, right? And let's be real. At the end of the day, I think in the 2008 crisis, banks realized that keeping these properties is quite expensive. They've got to keep them. I mean, we know all too well about these city codes and violations, and that the grass ain't cut right. Let me tell you, when they become homeowners, the banks, they got to go through the same process we homeowners do.
Code violations, all type of issues.
Okay, so at the end of the day, I guess I'm just being optimistic here, and I'm hopeful. And based on some of the cases, and every case is different at our office, that we have been able to negotiate, I'm hopeful that they've learned a little bit of their lesson, and that they've realized that they're not in the REO business. They're not trying to hold on to a bunch of properties that they then have to maintain. Not only that, what did we have really big before? Squatters. That's another problem. Then they got to try to evict these people. So I'm hoping that this time around they've learned their lesson. But
you know what, Attorney Pratt? I agree and I don't disagree with you. And what I mean by that is Attorney Pratt is optimistic. I'm more Debbie Downer. In other words, and I don't know about if it's necessarily a conspiracy theory, but guess what? These banks, they also made a lot of money on the last turnaround. Sure, they knew that it wasn't smart for them to hold on to these properties, but the ones that did, and again, looking backwards is 2020. It's perfect vision. They made a lot of money. They made a lot of money if they held on to these properties because the market rebounded. And what I'm afraid of, and again, I gotta voice this out.
No, that's why you're here. That's why your knowledge is power.
That's why. So that's my style. I gotta keep it real. So what happens is, I think these banks are gonna look at the last recession and say, you know what? If we would have held on to more properties, we would have had more money today. Because the truth is, JP Morgan, Bank of America, SunTrust, and all these big banks, they made a lot of money off keeping properties. And they weren't sure back then if they should keep it or not keep it. But if I'm sitting in their financial side, I'm their attorney now, I'd tell them, keep the properties, take them all. Because in a few years, they'll be worth double. And that's what I'm afraid of.
And one thing I will agree on, and I think you're always right, by the way, but one thing I will agree on, though, is that today we don't have these properties so underwater the way they were before. Right now, if there's a loan for $200K, but the property's worth $400, why wouldn't I want to take it?
Protect it. Right. It's that simple. Right. Protect your assets, right?
And it's protected in bankruptcy, and when you file bankruptcy, you stay these foreclosures, okay? So COVID, no COVID, who cares what's going on in those cases? If you're in bankruptcy, the state cannot bring you into the bank cannot bring you into state court for foreclosure. They cannot try to get a sale. They cannot move to evict you. What they have to do is they have to work with you in your Chapter 13 to attempt to do a loan modification.
Wow, very valuable information I'm hearing. Wow, very, very valuable. Ladies and gentlemen, call that number, 888-88-LEGAL. That's the number you need to call for your free consultation, for all the answers that you're going to need. And PraDa Law is ready and willing to help.
What's the point? The point is protect your assets. Right. I don't know if I'm right. I might be completely wrong. But if I'm right, those banks are going to hone in on your property. If Attorney Pratt is right, guess what? They're still not going to let you go ahead and go on without paying. So go ahead and protect those assets. Right. And those assets are protectable, right, Attorney Garcia?
Absolutely, in bankruptcy. And I think Attorney Pratt made a good point. She was like, keep your second home. A lot of people think you can't keep multiple homes in bankruptcy. That's not true. If you file a 13, you can restructure your debts to keep both of your homes. Get rid of second mortgages if they are underwater. You can modify the loans. There's so much. You can adjust interest rates too sometimes.
Could you keep more than two?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've had a client in the past that had 3 or 4 properties, in a bankruptcy, and kept them all because we worked something out with the bank via the bankruptcy.
Wow. There you go. Yeah. So every case is different. Of course. But you're hearing it here. It's simple. Call. Don't wonder. Don't ask your neighbor. No, don't. Yeah, your neighbor's usually wrong.
And their cousins don't know anything either.
Instead, call the number on your screen, 888-88-LEGAL.
We have a few seconds left, and of course we'll be back tomorrow. But not only tune in tomorrow, call today. Get rid of your issues today. Get rid of your problems today. Don't go to bed tonight overthinking. Call us, 888-88-LEGAL. We'll see you tomorrow.